Family, I want you to take a moment and reflect on the kind of person you're becoming, not who the world expects you to be, not who you feel pressured to portray, but the real you, the one who wrestles with dreams and doubts, victories and vulnerabilities. In today's hyper-Semitic world, privacy has become a rare and precious gift. The temptation to overshare is everywhere. From social media to casual conversations, we often feel an unspoken pressure to lay all our cards on the table, believing that transparency equals authenticity. But here's the truth. Privacy is not a weakness, it's a form of power. When you master the art of discretion, you gain control over your life in ways you might not even realize. Think about it. When you share too much with too many people, you expose yourself to a flood of opinions, judgments, and even interference. Not everyone who hears your story is rooting for you. Some are curious, others are critical, and a few may even be waiting for you to fail. By keeping certain aspects of your life private, you maintain control over your narrative. You decide who gets to speak into your life. And you filter out the noise that could distract or discourage you. Privacy doesn't mean isolation, it means discernment. It's knowing that not every thought needs to be spoken, not every plan needs to be announced, and not every struggle needs to be publicized. When you hold your dreams and challenges close, you give them a safe space to grow. Sharing prematurely can invite unnecessary stress or sabotage from people who don't fully understand your vision or intention. This doesn't mean you should live in secrecy or distrust. It means cultivating a circle of trust, a few individuals who genuinely have your best interests at heart. These are the people who will uplift you, guide you, and hold you accountable without judgment or malice. Outside of that circle, you owe the world nothing but the version of you that you choose to share. Privacy also protects your peace. When you overshare, you often find yourself caught in the web of other people's opinions. Their doubts become your doubts, and their criticisms start to shape your confidence. By limiting what you share, you preserve the clarity and focus you need to stay aligned with your. Moreover, privacy allows you to move in silence and avoid unnecessary competition. When others don't know your next steps, they can't hinder your progress. It gives you the freedom to work on your goals without feeling the pressure to meet external expectations. Moving in silence doesn't mean hiding. It means strategically withholding information until the time is right. In a world where information is currency, think of privacy as your personal savings account. The less you spend on unnecessary exposure, the more you retain to invest in your growth, dreams, and well-being. It's not about shutting people out. It's about protecting what matters most. So remember this, the less people know, the less they can control. You're not obligated to share every detail of your life, and you're not responsible for meeting anyone's expectations of transparency. Guard your journey, guard your heart, and trust that your privacy is a shield, not a barrier, to the extraordinary life you're building. Let's talk about boundaries, not the kind that fences or walls create, but the kind that builds emotional, mental, and spiritual protection around your life. Boundaries are not just a suggestion, they are a necessity. They're the backbone of a fulfilled and purpose-driven life, and without them, you risk being stretched thin, drained, and directionless. Boundaries are about more than saying no. They're about defining what's acceptable and unacceptable in your relationships, work, and personal life. They're a declaration of your self-worth and a tool for preserving your energy, peace, and purpose. Yet, so many of us struggle to set them. Why? Because we fear rejection. We fear being labeled as selfish, difficult, or ungrateful. But here's the truth. Boundaries are not selfish. They're self-honoring. They're an act of love for yourself and others because they set the stage for healthy, authentic interaction. Think about this. When you have no boundaries, you allow others to dictate your time, energy, and emotions. You might say yes when you mean no, or overextend yourself trying to please everyone. The result? Burnout, frustration, and resentment. Without boundaries, you're constantly pouring from an empty cup, leaving little for yourself and for those who genuinely need your best self. Now, let me make this clear. Boundaries are not walls meant to shut people out. They are bridges that teach others how to treat you. When you set boundaries, you're saying, I value myself enough to communicate what I need, and I value you enough to show you how we can thrive together. Healthy boundaries foster mutual respect and understanding. They prevent unnecessary conflict and create space for deeper, more meaningful connections. Boundaries are also essential for protecting your purpose. When you're clear about your goals and values, boundaries act as guardrails that keep you aligned. They help you avoid distractions and prioritize what truly matters. For example, if you've decided to dedicate time to personal growth, a boundary might look like limiting time spent on social media or declining invitations that don't align with your goals. But let's be honest, setting boundaries can be uncomfortable. You might face pushback, especially from people who've benefited from your lack of them. But don't let that deter you. Discomfort is temporary. Fulfillment is long-lasting. When you stand firm in your boundaries, you teach others to respect your needs. And over time, even the resistant ones will adapt. Remember, boundaries require consistency and courage. They're not just words, they're actions. It's not enough to declare your limits, you must also enforce them. This might mean walking away from toxic relationships, declining opportunities that don't align with your values, or carving out time for self-care even when life feels chaotic. At the core of it all, boundaries are an act of faith. They're a way of saying, I trust that I don't have to do it all or be everything to everyone to live a meaningful life. They allow you to focus on what God has called you to do and trust that everything else will fall into place. So today, I encourage you to evaluate your boundaries. Where are you saying yes when you should say no? What areas of your life need more clarity and protection? Remember, boundaries are not about keeping people out. They're about keeping yourself whole. Stand firm in them and watch how they transform your life. Peace is one of the most valuable treasures you can possess. It's the foundation of a joyful and purposeful life. Yet it often feels elusive in a world filled with noise, opinions, and chaos. To truly safeguard your peace, you must first learn to protect your narrative, the story you allow the world to tell about you, and more importantly, the story you tell yourself. Every day we're bombarded with outside influences. Social media, gossip, unsolicited advice, and societal expectations. These voices can cloud your sense of self and lead you to question your worth, choices, and direction. When you allow others to control your narrative, when you give them the pen to write your story, you give them the power to disrupt your peace. Protecting your narrative means taking back that pen and deciding what parts of your life are shared, with whom, and why. Here's the truth. Not everyone deserves access to your full story. Some people are only interested in watching your struggles, not celebrating your success. Others may project their insecurities onto your life, distorting your narrative with their doubts and fears. By carefully curating what you share, you create a boundary that shields your peace from external. But protecting your narrative isn't just about limiting what others know. It's also about being mindful of what you internalize. The story you tell yourself about your worth, potential, and future shapes how you navigate the world. If your inner dialogue is filled with self-doubt, comparison, and fear, your peace will be constantly under attack. On the other hand, if you cultivate a narrative rooted in faith, self-love, and resilience, you'll carry an unshakable sense of peace no matter the circumstance. This is why self-awareness is so important. Take the time to reflect on your values, priorities, and purpose. When you're clear about who you are and what you stand for, you become less susceptible to the opinions and expectations of others. You don't need their validation to feel confident in your journey, and you don't need to explain yourself to everyone who questions your path. Of course, protecting your narrative requires discipline. It's tempting to overshare, especially when seeking connection, validation, or support. But not every listener has good intentions, and not every moment of vulnerability should be public. Choose your confidants wisely. Surround yourself with people who genuinely uplift, encourage, and respect you. Those who understand the value of your peace and protect it as fiercely as you do. And let's talk about timing. Sometimes the best way to protect your narrative is to move in silence. You don't have to announce your plans, share your struggles, or broadcast your progress. There's power in letting your results speak for themselves. When you focus on the work and stay aligned with your purpose, you avoid unnecessary distractions and drama. Ultimately, protecting your narrative is an act of self-respect. It's a commitment to honor your journey, embrace your uniqueness, and prioritize your well-being above all else. When you do this, you create a life that is not only peaceful, but also purposeful. So today, take control of your story. Guard your narrative, protect your peace, and trust that your life's most meaningful chapters will unfold exactly as they're meant to. In a world that constantly demands transparency and oversharing, wisdom lies in discernment. It's not about secrecy or distrust. It's about understanding that not every detail of your life needs to be public knowledge. Knowing what to share and what to safeguard is a skill that can protect your peace, strengthen your relationship. Think of your life as a beautiful garden. Some parts are meant to be shared openly, like a vibrant flower bed that brings joy and inspiration to others. But other parts, like the roots and the soil, are meant to be hidden, protected, and nurtured away from public view. Without those unseen elements, the garden would wither. In the same way, the most sacred aspects of your life require privacy to grow. It begins with self-awareness. You must first understand what is most valuable to you: your dreams, relationships, values, challenges. These are the treasures of your life, and not everyone has earned the right to access them. Sharing indiscriminately can invite unnecessary judgment, criticism, or even sabotage from people who don't fully understand or appreciate your journey. But let's be honest, sharing can be tempting. In the moment, it might feel good to post about your latest achievement, vent about a frustration, or announce your next big move. Validation from others can feel like fuel, but here's the truth. When you rely on external approval, you hand over control of your confidence and direction. Wisdom teaches you to pause and ask yourself, why am I sharing this? Who is this for? What will this accomplish? Not everything you share will be received with the positivity or support you expect. Sometimes people project their own insecurities onto your story, leaving you feeling deflated or discouraged. Other times, premature sharing can disrupt your progress. For example, announcing a new goal before you fully planned or acted on it can expose you to unnecessary opinions that dilute your focus and momentum. On the other hand, knowing what to safeguard allows you to build strength and resilience in private. It's in these quiet moments of working, healing, or growing that you lay the foundation for lasting success. When you safeguard the delicate parts of your life, you protect them from interference, giving yourself the freedom to navigate challenges and celebrate victories on your own terms. This doesn't mean you have to walk through life alone or avoid vulnerability. Wisdom isn't about isolation, it's about discernment. It's about choosing safe spaces and trusted individuals with whom to share your authentic self. These people will honor your journey, provide constructive feedback, and celebrate your growth without jealousy or judgment. Ultimately, wisdom and sharing is about balance. It's about knowing when to speak and when to stay silent, when to reveal and when to withhold. It's about respecting the sanctity of your own story and understanding that not everyone is entitled to every chapter. So as you navigate this world of constant connectivity, let wisdom guide you. Share when it uplifts, inspires, or aligns with your purpose. Safeguard when it protects your peace, growth, and future. Your life is a masterpiece in progress, and you have the right to decide which parts to display and which to keep. As we navigate the complexities of life in 2025 and beyond, one truth remains constant. Your life is your most precious asset. It's a unique tapestry woven with your dreams, struggles, relationships, and growth. But not every thread of this tapestry is meant to be seen by everyone. The choices you make about what to share and what to safeguard define how well you protect your peace, purpose, and power. Remember, privacy is not secrecy, it's wisdom in action. Boundaries are not barriers, they're bridges to healthier relationships and a clearer sense of self. Protecting your narrative doesn't make you isolated, it makes you intentional. And knowing what to share and what to withhold is not about being guarded, it's about being grounded in your values. You are the steward of your life. The less you allow the world to control your narrative, the more freedom you'll have to grow, thrive, and walk confidently in your purpose. Let this year be the one where you guard your heart, embrace discernment, and move in alignment with your calling. The life you're building is far too valuable to be left unprotected. Choose wisely, share intentionally, safeguard fiercely. Your peace, your purpose, and your power depend on it.